This is Ready, Set, Reiki, a podcast about Reiki and all energy work, from the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination. And on this Ready, Set, Reiki journey, I refer to myself as a guide rather than host, as I too am traveling, learning, and supporting others on this Reiki journey as well. And with that said, I am your guide, Tracy Seawright, and this is Ready, Set, Reiki. Hello, Reiki family. Reiki blessings to you, one and all. Another amazing journey ahead. But before we begin, I'd like to invite you to a very special place. This is the Reiki Business Collective. It is a group on Facebook, so it costs nothing to join. Here you can connect with a Reiki business community. Christian Stone is our fearless leader here, who is out in the Reiki world supporting and sharing and serving. He, along with others, are rising each other up. So know in your journey, no matter where you are, whether you're that curious beginner, seasoned master teacher, this is a place that you can land. And don't let that business name fool you. Wherever you are, it's a great place to learn, grow, support, network. So I hope you can check it out. Again, it costs nothing to join. You don't have to participate. You can just watch and read and learn and grow. And I also want to invite you to something very special as well. So the Reiki Business Summit, there is Christian Stone there. He is the one who is doing the Reiki business group there. And April 18th and 19th. And here is a beautiful collection of wonderful practitioners, master teachers. You may notice someone familiar. Yes, that's me. I will be there with my fabulous teacher, Pam, as we discuss, share, and learn our experiences. So check it out. It is a wonderful group of individuals. Know that you are never alone on this journey. So let's begin our journey today. So I've been having a little segment where it's called, What Are They Up to Now? So my guest today, Kathleen Ahern, she helps overthinking, stressed out adults from all walks of life to come home to themselves through somatic practices, energy work, writing, offering tools to build inner trust, create joy, and roll with life's punches. And we are certainly getting a lot of punches lately in life. So let's give a warm Ready, Set, Reiki welcome to Kathleen. Hello, welcome back.
Hello, Tracy. Thank you so much for having me back.
Beautiful. Well, let's begin our journey together and letting us know, what have you been up to now? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you have been doing since.
Sure. So I am Kathleen Ahern. I am a born and bred New Yorker. I was raised by two Filipinos, and I, of course, became a nurse. So as soon as I was able to, I went straight into nursing school. And since then, I have been through some shifts in what kind of nurse I am. I've been working with special needs. I worked with private duty, case management. That's where I am now. And then I recently made a shift to being a nurse coach, which is a actual specialty in nursing. So by day, I'm a case manager for an insurance company. And all the other times where I'm not working, I am trying to develop myself professionally and personally to see how I can serve my community. Beautiful. And what else do? I like doing tarot cards, watching Star Trek with my husband. And when I was on the show last year, I didn't know it at that time, but I was in the middle of extreme burnout. It got to the point where I had pain in my kidneys whenever I would think about work. So at that point, I'm like, no, something needs to change. So I went back to my roots. I looked up my nursing idol, Dr. Jean Watson. She is an amazing soul, human being. And she is someone that her teachings I come back to whenever I feel lost. Her theory of human caring, it's now called caring science. It's so universal. It is based in love, is at the center of all things. And we as people can be a caring environment, even over distances, over time, over space, especially in this digital world where, we're all kind of like, I'm talking to you. I have never met you in person. And here we are, we're connecting together. But I always go back to her when I'm feeling lost. And I rediscovered Reiki, and I actually, during that time, I decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to get my Reiki 1, my Reiki 2, and just really see where the journey takes me. But of course, the extreme burnout, I needed to get out of that environment. So I actually changed jobs since we last met, and much happier. Love it. I am trying to see where I can grow in my current position. Be something I'm more passionate about, like education, mentoring, in that way, so I can help inspire and lead the new employees, current employees, and kind of to make a bigger ripple in that way. And yeah, that's what I've been up to. Oh, we also, my husband and I, we got we're new homeowners, so first time homeowners. We're learning the joys of home ownership. It's nice to not. It's nice to have like our own space that we can just make it our own. I can paint the walls if I wanted to. Like replace stuff when I'm ready, and I don't have to worry about like the landlord or anything like that. Right. So that's been a journey in and of itself. But I'm in a much better place than when we last spoke.
Beautiful. And isn't that something with the burnout? I mean, it really, something about last year and this year, I was right there. Like I knew it was coming, and I'm glad to hear that you've made these shifts and you've changes, you've acknowledged them, you've used these tools in your energetic toolbox to help guide you through this, to get you into that place where, okay, I'm going to reset and I'm going to go in a completely different direction. So I'm glad you were able to do that and navigate through that. I think as those who work in the energy field here, we feel this need to help others and serve others, but it's so important we take care of ourselves. And that's what the basis of the Reiki 1 is really getting yourself, bring that healing to you so that you can be of service to others. But when we keep pushing ourselves, we're not able to do that. It's not serving ourselves. It's not helping others, just keeping going and going and going. So I'm glad you made these shifts, as we are in the year of the fire horse of all times, right?
Yes.
So Reiki journey. We're here for the Reiki, the energy work. Remind us, when did Reiki come into your life? Do you think that Reiki found you or you found Reiki?
So thinking about this now in the space that I'm in, we're going to hear about Dr. Jean Watson a lot today. So she actually, she did a holistic nursing conference like in New York. And I begged my mom, like, Mom, we got to go. Like I have to be in the same space as her. I don't care if I don't talk to her, but I have to be in the same energetic space as this woman. So we went. She really liked it. She had no idea what holistic nursing was. So I got to introduce her to that. And that is where I experienced Reiki for the first time. It was one of the Reiki masters. There was a workshop where she did kind of like a rapid fire tune up. Like it was a set of 3 chairs and you just go. So we sat for 5 minutes. She worked with our energy fields, and it was just 5 minutes being done, next 3, 5 minutes being done, next 3. But when I was in that chair, I was just, I felt it. Like I felt the shift, and I'm like, whoa, like this is cool. Like I was ready to like deep dive into it at this point. Even though this was probably almost like maybe 8-10 years ago. And that day there was a table of crystals actually that were out, and she was like, whatever calls to you, just take it. I'm like, great. So picked one, no idea what it was. It was some kind of agate. And I carried that with me so much that I ended up turning it into a necklace as a reminder of that day and the shift, the joy that I felt that day. So that's where it first came into my life.
Beautiful. So navigating through the medical field, you may have some that you have encountered, doctors, nurses, that may not be as open to energy work or Reiki work. And then you'll find some, hospitals that are more open to having, Reiki practitioners come in and offer Reiki as part of their complementary services. What are some of the misconceptions as you've kind of navigated through this that you are hearing about Reiki?
I think the biggest one that I encounter is it's just a bunch of woo woo, and like, because you can't see it, how do you know it's working? And we all have this, we are in tune to ourselves, and there's just this, our intuition, our gut feelings, like there's just something that we know. We can't explain it, but we just know that it works. So ways that I've explained it are, it's like the wind. You can't see the wind, but you can see it working. Like blowing the trees. It can be very powerful. Like just pick it, like blowing the street lights. Those are as tall as a person, and they're just blowing over. Or when I work with someone who's kind of like a little hesitant, they're like, how do I know it's working? And I'll just be honest with them. Like, if you won't, sometimes you might not feel it. Like, you might feel hot, you might feel cold, but sometimes you might feel tired, but sometimes you might not feel anything at all, because the energy needs time to go through your body. It needs time to kind of work. And I tell them, pay attention to what is going on with you in the next couple of days. And I strongly encourage them to journal, especially if they experience any dreams, because when I was doing my Reiki one, and I set an intention to, I want to work through the energy that doesn't serve me. And I did that right before bed, and the dreams that I had, the nightmares that I had, that was just everything working. And I never usually have those like types of jarring, unusual dreams. Like they can be a little kooky, but it was never like anything fear inducing. And I was talking to my teacher. I'm like, it's so weird. And she's like, Kathleen, you're telling yourself to work through all the bad stuff. It's working through you.
Yeah.
So maybe set a different intention for the next week and see what happens. So my intention for that week was, I want to have a peaceful sleep, right? Mm-hmm. And then had, either little no dreams for that span of time. Then I went back, I'm like, wow, like you're right. Like it's really just whatever your intention is.
It is.
And that's where how often have you heard, where your intention goes, energy flows? So that's one of the biggest things that I hear.
Well, when I do self Reiki, it's at night and just as I sleep. And so having that intention. And when I first started, I was brought to Reiki due to grief. And so I would place my hands, right there on that solar plexus, asking for confidence, asking for willpower, healing that inner child. And it reminded me of the dreams and things. And I would wake up in the morning and I had been crying in my sleep. It was getting all of that out. But as you were talking, it was making me think of a video that someone created where, wouldn't it be interesting as Reiki practitioners what if the energy was colored as it came out of our fingertips? How doctors would react if it was this stream of color that they could physically see streaming out of our hands and fingers, moving to that, place in the body and change things in that. But how interesting and different it would be if you could actually see that coming out instead of having, we have to trust it because, like you said, it's like air, Mm-hmm. So when it is time for you to get an energetic tune-up, what qualities do you look for in a Reiki practitioner? And you can talk about your teacher as well. What qualities really drew you to her?
So when I was looking for a teacher, when I didn't even know I was looking for a teacher at the time. I was actually looking for, I had just finished my nurse coach certification, so I'm board certified, right? And I was looking for a mentor. but I didn't know what I was looking for. So I interviewed probably like half a dozen people. One was too pushy. Like I would get harassed by this one person, and I'm like, no, not for me. One was really into like the business side of things, corporate. I'm like, no, it's not what I want to do. And then finally, I found my eventual Reiki teacher, where her basis is first of all, your body, like your whole body awareness, somatic work, but also the energy work, because that's kind of the other side of things. And when I had that initial interview with her, I'm like, okay, yep, this is it. Like I immediately I trusted the energy, the vibes that I was getting, and like I was getting excited, and I'm like, okay, but I didn't want to rush into it because I have the ADHD, and I'm prone to like making like impulsive decisions. So I sat on it for a couple of days, and I'm like, you know what? I interviewed a few more people, and I'm like, I really liked this person. Like, I really just want to work with this person. I loved her energy. She made me feel like a person, right? Instead of just like want to get me to join her. Like, she really like made me feel like it sounds weird, but she made me feel like a person, right? Who has their own autonomy, and like just she checked all my boxes, really. And then when we did when we started Reiki 1, I didn't know what to expect for the attunement, because I'm like, I was a little skeptical, I'm like, yes, I know. My brain understood that Reiki travels through time, space, and all that. But I'm like, I've never met my teacher in person. Like, how is this attunement gonna work? But I trusted the process, and I received the attunement. And even just recalling it now, I can feel like a little chill going through me. But I remember it was 2/22 of last year at 2:22 p.m. We started the attunement, and it was very shifting. I actually got like mental pictures, mental downloads, and I have that thing where if I close my eyes right now, I see the back of my eyelids. I don't see anything, but it's only when I do Reiki, I can have those visual imagery, like flowers, animals, pictures of people in my head. I'm just like, wow, like this is amazing. Like, and when I would go for an attunement, I found someone local to me. Not attunement, I'm sorry. When I went for a tune-up, I found someone close to me. I didn't really like do much. I just went, but she was very like clinical, which is weird because like I never experienced a Reiki practitioner being like clinically cold.
Oh, okay.
I didn't feel. I felt nervous. I felt anxious. Like I felt my people pleasing skills kicking in, because I guess I felt unsafe. Like I did not want to disappoint this practitioner. I didn't want to like write her off or whatever. I have a distinct memory of being like uncomfortable. Am I doing this right? Like very not me during that tune-up. So that kind of person I would not,
Sure.
that did not resonate with me.
Right. But that's a great experience to have, because now you know what you want, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So since we last met, you've had a lot of changes. You have experienced burnout. And as you stand here today, as we connect today, is there something different from we last talked? What advice would you give someone who is entering spiritual work?
So with it again, I'm gonna bring up the glorious Dr. Gina Watson again. She, during that time where I felt like a beginner, I just went back to what resonated with me. And she developed what is called the 10 Caritas processes. And these are, universal truths to live by in your personal and professional life, and to embody like a caring energy field in everything that we do. And process number 3 is trust. And that's my word for 2026. So I've been seeing this word come up a lot in, not even just for this year of the fire horse, but like in general for the past couple months. But this is being sensitive to yourself and others by cultivating your own spiritual practices and, trusting the beyond of what we can experience ourselves. And then process number 8 is co-creating. So we, again, create that healing environment at all levels, starting with us inside and then out to if we're working with an individual, and then that person will influence another person, and just going from the little me to the bigger, the grander, the microcosm. And then process number 10 is just being open. So being open to spiritual mystery, unknowing, and just allowing for miracles to happen. Yeah. So just keeping those in mind and just trusting the process that you are where you are meant to be in this moment at this time. And someone that's entering, like, you're going to be where you're going to be the person that you needed at that time. Mm-hmm. And someone does need your energy work as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that you have a word too. I have a word, flow or flowing. And it's so interesting that when you put that out into the world, as we talked earlier about intention, like if things didn't flow. And I had recently where I was really struggling about keeping a particular job. And I knew the people in the class, it was a yoga class, really enjoyed it, but it had become like challenging to get to, like the traffic was getting worse. So it used to be like a 25-minute drive, and now it was becoming a 38-minute drive one way. And I had put like, let things flow. Well, I went to start driving. I hit every single red light, right? Things weren't flowing, right? I get there. There was a problem with parking. I get to the door was locked. I had to call the campus police to get the door open, so all of these things where it's like, what, this is just not flowing. So the universe will give you these great, teaching moments to see, what direction you want to go into your life. So that's what made me think of when you were talking about your word trusting and how the universe gives you these opportunities. Mm-hmm. So as we're here, is there any particular book or that you recommend or books that you recommend?
So I, when I was doing that reset, right, I knew I was kind of looking for a bit of structure. So I just happened to go to a store one day and I came upon this book called The 7-Day Chakras by Shah Tubali. And I liked it because it gave like each day of the week, it would be a certain chakra. So Mondays was root, and then sacral, and then, on and then on until you hit the crown on Sunday. And it was nice for me to have that, like chakra of the day to kind of like get familiar with it. How does it feel to me? What activities resonates with me? How can I embody it for the day? So that was good for me to reestablish my relationship and just learn new things about it. Another book I would recommend is Reiki, A Comprehensive Guide by Pamela Miles. That is a very good, really in-depth book about Reiki, the history, practices, and just a good resource to have. I refer to that a lot when, again, I was going through the reset. And then again, like going back to Dr. Jean Watson, it was the book that I was reading at the time was Caring Science, Mindful Practice. So this is how I can embody her theory. So it's a praxis, not a practice, and not just a theory. Mm-hmm. So that I want to embody what I learn. I want to embody what I show others. So That was a good refresher in how to do that instead of just kind of mindlessly going throughout my day. Now there's with these resources, now there's structure.
Right. Right. I love that. And this is why I always call this energy work a journey, because sometimes you have to pause on the journey. Sometimes you have to step back. It's really not about that destination. So when you needed that reset, going back to basics. And that's kind of where my burnout was coming, that I went back to doing the self Reiki, doing the precepts, doing those things, saying no to things. Like I had to everything was coming, and really trying to navigate through the guilt of things that I had manifested or prayed for, say 4 years ago or 5 years ago, but I didn't put a timestamp on it. I just kind of wrote it down in journals and said it out loud that I'm ready for these opportunities. And then 4 years later, they're all coming in. And I felt like I've evolved as a person, that like, do I even really want this anymore? And so I like how you went back and you went to the books and those things that you started your journey with. So well done. So what other services do you offer? Do you do classes, events? Do you do trainings?
So lately I've been offering Reiki sessions, obviously. Also, I like to combine oracle card readings or tarot card readings, just to, again, give like a sense of grounding to the Reiki for someone to focus on afterwards. I have been blessed with, in the past couple of weeks, I've been blessed with the opportunities to do some workshops. So that has been fun. I also offer individual or group coaching sessions as well. And again, going back to my basics, and my style is rooted in the Caritas processes that I've mentioned before, but also as a nurse, I have trended towards lifestyle medicine, where chronic conditions can be addressed through lifestyle changes. And there are a couple pillars there's 6 pillars total in the lifestyle medicine, but I like to focus on connections as well as stress management. So you'll find me doing incorporating breath work, narrative therapy, somatic work, and it's really just customizable as to how the person I'm working with, how do they want to approach things? Do they want the Reiki? Do they not want the Reiki? Do they want breath work? Do they want like nutrition guidelines, things like that? So it's very tailored to whoever I'm working with and how I can best serve them.
Wonderful. That's another thinking back to like a good quality about energy worker, Reiki practitioner, is that person is working on themselves too. They're walking the walk, talking the talk, right? More beyond that as well. So working on yourself, really important. Well, so where can we find you? Are you online? Are you in person? If someone's interested in booking a session or connecting with you?
So if someone is interested in connecting with me, I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. My business name is Hearth and Forge Healing. If you want to find me on LinkedIn, they can just search my name, Kathleen Ahern. I also do have a website, hearthandforgehealing.com. And soon I am returning to my passion of writing, and I'll be launching a Substack soon. So stay tuned. But those are the places that they can find me if they want to connect with me.
All right, beautiful. So let's go on to our next part here. So this ends the first part of our journey, and I'm going to guide you into the second part, which are questions from listeners and Reiki students. So here we go. Number 1, in your line of work, in your opinion, why does it appear that people in general are just always stressed out?
Oh, yes. So I talk about this with my coworkers all the time. As I mentioned before, I am a nurse case manager and I work for an insurance company. I do work from home, but the first word in that is work. So it's keeping on top of our metrics with our high caseloads. We have a lot of tasks that need to be done and checked off to keep upper management happy. And even at times upper management they're not directly in touch with the people, like we are considered the frontliners. And they just keep adding more stuff for us to do without the kind of like, can they handle this now type thing? So we're overworked. There's not enough time to breathe, to experience life, just to sit and be. And I know that's not specific to my line of work. Like, I bet there's at least one person who's listening who can raise their hand in agreement when I say it feels like I don't even have 2 minutes to breathe.
Yes.
And we're just stressed out because of the doing.
Yeah.
We are, and this phrase will always stay with me, is I am not a human doing, I am a human being. And I'll be running a workshop soon about how to just be, again, just using the power of our breath, just to sit and get those 2 minutes, more than 2 minutes, to just sit and be.
Beautiful. Number 2, what are some tools that you offer someone who's experiencing a lot of stress?
So if someone is in a lot of stress, I would consider that kind of like a crisis mode. I'm not, if someone's actively having a crisis, like, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be rationalizing. We're not going to be like working to the root. We are just going to be, how can we come back to this moment, like this present moment? So we can do that by, again, using the tools that we have already. Use our breath, use body movement, like even just like moving your neck and just taking note of what's around you, reestablishing yourself in where you are now. And even just being that gentle, or if you need something a little, more intense, like I always recommend just take some cold water and just splash it on yourself, or get some ice, start chewing on it. There is a little acronym that I picked up. It's called TIP, TIPP. So T is temperature, again, getting that coldness to just kind of like snap you back to the present moment. You could do intense exercise. I know when I feel anxious, I feel like I have to run a marathon. All the thoughts are turning, so I'll hop on a walking pad for like 15, 20 minutes. Paced breathing, that's the first piece. So box breathing is our friend. Just, you can count to 4, breathe in 4, hold 4, exhale 4, and just continue doing that until you kind of can calm down and can think of step forward. And then the second P in TIP is progressive muscle relaxation. So what that is tensing your muscles starting at your forehead, and you'll tense for as long as you can, and then relax. And then you'll go to your cheeks or your jaw, like you'll just clench your jaw for a few seconds, as long as you can, and then relax. And then just continue going down your body until you hit your toes, like you'll like tighten your toes, and then just relax. And giving your body that opportunity to just kind of reset itself, and gives you a place to channel like your emotions when you're like kind of tightening everything, and just kind of bring it back. So, and these are tools that I teach, so that when someone is in a crisis, they have that kind of like emergency self-care plan, escape. That's what I tell them. It's an escape.
Sure.
So that's what I.
Yeah. I don't know if you've noticed. I've noticed as I also teach yoga since COVID. I feel like people just can't relax or rest or settle. And one of the most important asanas in yoga is shavasana, and that's doing nothing. It's just being. And people are quite challenged by it. And I tell them, be here for a moment, and then at the pace that they feel comfortable, roll over onto your side, take 5 breaths there. And so many people, it's like they're, okay, I'm down. And then they like just sit right up, and they don't take that time. Like, give yourself time. We got your nervous system to a really nice, calm place. And then they don't listen. They just completely block it out. I'll say, take it slow. There's no invitation to sit up, please listen to your body, lay on your side, breathe for 5 minutes. And it's like almost like they just don't want to do it. And they just hop right up. And it's like, it's like all this work we've just done. And I tell them, like, I used to do that too as a young yogi. I would, leap up, get my keys, go. And that set the intention for the rest of the day. So I'm finding that people just can't relax, and they have to just keep going. So to see that reset in people and not feel bad or guilty for just taking a few moments in breath would really change how the rest of your day unfolds, right?
Yes.
Just give yourself that. Yeah. All right. Number 3, as you help clients build trust, why is trust in oneself so important?
So for me, this was a realization that I came to myself. If I don't trust myself, what is that rooted in? It's rooted in fear. I am afraid to take the first step because I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of disappointing people. I'm afraid of being judged. And if I don't trust myself, I will solely rely on external validation. And then I will be crushed if I do not perceive that from another person. So trust is a way to kind of shift that fear-based narrative into one of love. I trust myself. So I trust that I am going to make the right decision for myself at this time, whether that's, I don't know, having a cookie because it feels good, or picking up the phone and calling mom because I want to hear her voice, or things like that. And again, just coming back to love, and that's also what our energy work is based in. It's based in that universal energy that is love, and having that trust is going beyond what is comfortable. So, because our comfort zone, and I've seen this at other places, that your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. So, and taking that first step towards growth it's a big one. And I'm no stranger to stopping and restarting and stopping and restarting, but I'm never starting from zero. I'm starting with the tools that I was gifted. I'm starting with the support that I have, whether that's through my partner, my family, my friends, and having that support in myself, where like I know that I've been through the trenches and I'm still here. So having that knowledge that I can support myself. And just going back to Dr. Watson, this is one of her quotes that I always carry with me, is that maybe this one moment with this one person is the very reason that we're here on earth at this time. And I'd like to expand on that it's okay if that person is you.
Beautiful. That was our last question. And as we've been talking, is there something that you may have forgotten or something that you'd like to share? The floor is yours.
Sure. I wanted to bring up mental health, right? And I kind of touched on that with our last question, where we have that silent struggle of either anxiety, depression, ADHD. If you're lucky like me, you have all 3. And it's those long times of inaction. It's the burnout. But I think it took me a couple months, maybe 4 to 6 months to like fully feel like myself again and to try again. And now I realize that we need to have different tiers of self-care. Like if I'm having a good day, a green day, it's like I can, do 40 minutes of yoga. But if I'm having like a yellow day, maybe that'll look like a 15-minute flow. Just pull it up on YouTube But if I'm having a red day, maybe that's just Shavasana in bed, like just having those 5 breaths. So having those different levels of self-care is important. And that is what I have really leaned into the past couple of years, is that you don't have to be 100% all of the time. And sometimes you're 100%. If you have like 30% of your usual and you're giving that already, well, that's already 100%. So you're already doing the best you can each day. And as long as you are, then you are doing right by you and you're still moving forward.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Kathleen. And thank you so much for revisiting me on this Reiki journey.
Of course. I'm always happy to, touch base again and give you an update. And I'm super excited to see you on the Reiki Business Summit. I already have my early bird tickets, so I can't wait.
Beautiful. And tell us again, where can we find you?
So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram at Hearth and Forge Healing. You can also find me on my website at hearthandforgehealing.com, or if you can't remember that, you can find me on LinkedIn with Kathleen Ahern. I am trying to be more intentional with my online presence, but those are the best ways to connect with me, and I'm always happy to chat and see how I can serve you.
All right, beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, my beautiful listeners, if you'd like your question featured on Ready Set Reiki, reach out, www.readysetreiki.com, and check me out on social media. Send me a question and perhaps it'll be on Ready Set Reiki. I'm Tracy C. Wright, and this has been Ready Set Reiki.